time now, though, for the markets with Layton, and there may be some good pricing opportunities in cotton.
That's right. As of Thursday morning, as we record, cotton has had 3 days of strong gains, and some analysts are even suggesting farmers may want to consider making some sales right now. Also in our headlines this week, U.S. supplies of fed cattle remain small. It's been a surprising October for corn prices, and some global weather and political concerns give support to wheat. The latest snapshot of the U.S. farm-raised catfish industry came out since our last edition of Farm Week. In September, producers in the U.S. received a pond bank price of $1.21 per pound for premium-size live fish. Now that is 15 cents per pound more than was paid 1 year ago. Farm sales totaled just over 27 million pounds round weight, a decrease of 7% from 1 year ago. Meanwhile, processor sales were down even more than farm sales. At 12.5 million pounds, that total was a drop of 15% from September 2013. The cattle markets had a new on-feed report to consider as of the last week of October. Extension Ag economist John Michael Riley has been looking over the numbers as well. He joined me on set Thursday morning. John Michael, any game-changing numbers in that cattle on-feed report?
Well, nothing game-changing. Everything was fairly close to what the pre-report expectations were for the cattle on-feed report. We did see an increase in placements in the month of September. There at just over 2 million head of cattle placed during that month, which was an increase compared to last year. And that would probably caught maybe some people off guard. It didn't catch the market off guard. The market was expecting a 1.5% increase in placements, but we've been talking about tight supplies, low number of feeder cattle available. So seeing that positive number might have caught some people off guard. But again, think about, we got to think about the fact that that number is compared to a record low number for September in a year ago. But also, where were prices at during the month of September? There was a strong encouragement to send cattle to feedlots, and it looks like a lot of producers did take the market up on that.
So really in this week since the report came out, not a lot of reaction in the market, pretty much expected.
That's right. We've seen little to no reaction, a fairly neutral report. We have seen some ups and downs, of course, since then, but I think that's more indicative of what's going on outside markets and equities and just general economy. So that's really been the market reaction thus far.
With supplies being tight, are we seeing weights, heavier cattle out there as far as, or is it really hard to say what's going on?
That might be another interesting aspect of the report. Heavyweight cattle up 8%. The weight group right below that heavy number was down 8%. The really lightweight cattle mostly even. So kind of a bit of a seesaw there in terms of those heavier cattle. But again, it's indicative of the fact that there are tighter supplies available, but also the lower cost of gain that we're seeing in feedlots. A lot of that's in play right now in terms of what the weight groups that we're seeing placed.
And as far as where this market is price-wise, a lot of people have, in recent months, have tried to say, well, it's nearing a top, but still, it could go higher or stay where it is.
Depending on when you heard me talk, you might have heard a similar story from me, but you're right. Right now, we're just in a kind of a steady state, a little bit of bouncing around. Again, kind of following general economic news. Everything's really keying on demand. We know that supplies are tight. Demand is going to be indicative. We're seeing some strength in exports, domestic demand. We're still going to wait and see what happens continually.
Our trivia quiz pertains to the growing problem of wild hogs. Here's the question. Wild hogs live in groups. What is the name given to a group of wild hogs? Is the answer A, sounder, B, covey, C, drove, or D, a brood? I'll tell you at the end of the markets. Wednesday of this week, DTN reported December corn posted its highest close in 10 weeks. Analyst Virgil Robinson says it has been a surprising October rally for corn. He thinks several factors have been at play, including a lagging harvest pace in other parts of the United States and some drought concerns in parts of South America.
We've also had some export sales that have been relatively strong, and that's good. But to suggest we've the catalyst here for a significant price advance, I would stop short of saying that. So for those, and I'll just assume I'm speaking to those that have done to this point nothing and have no storage, I think this is an opportunity to go ahead and make some sales.
Wheat prices are also in an uptrend as the month of October comes to an end. Analyst Aaron Newsom says he wouldn't be surprised to see this continue, at least in the short near term.
It looks like wheat wants to try to push higher. The U.S. dollar's been coming down a little bit. We've seen some decent demand, export demand, not a lot of new sales announced, but we are seeing some demand for U.S. wheat. So we've got some push in here with non-commercial traders or the investment side still liquid or covering some of their short positions. That could be the catalyst to really kind of give us another couple of weeks of it on the upside.
Georgia Pacific has announced a major investment in the Mid-South forestry products industry. That company is planning to put $37 million into an expansion at its Gurdon, Arkansas lumber mill. That mill is a little over 150 miles west of Greenville, Mississippi. Mill capacity in Gurdon will reportedly increase 60%. Georgia Pacific is also reportedly considering investing another $20 million at a nearby plywood mill near Gurdon, Arkansas. Georgia Pacific has 8 facilities in Arkansas. It employs 2,700 people in that state. Well, before our new feature story, let's check the trivia answer for this week. And the correct choice is A. A group of wild hogs is called a sounder.